Yo, what's going on? Your boy's back at it again with another hot review. Drams on deck. Today, we have something rare. Something that you just don't see all the time. Something that's very, very hard to find. Today, we have the infamous Henny Pure White. Yes, sir. We got the Henny Pure White on deck in the building. Now this bad boy right here is bottled at 40% ABV. And yes, you can look at the side, it is very, very light color. It looks like some damn apple juice. That's the same color of the apple juice, the same color as this. It's not really dark at all. As far as the age on this, it's unknown. It's a mix, but what I've Googled and read is price range from, not price range, as the what they have inside is somewhat of a VS. So, you know, VS is up to 2 years. VSOP is a little over 2 years, like around 4 years. So it's anywhere in the bar. It's roughly around, it says it's a young cognac. So it's roughly around, we'll just say a VS. It's not classified as a VS, but from what I read, it's the consistency of things that was in this bottle is the ballpark of a VS. So this is a young cognac, 40% ABV. And this is something right here that you do not see in the United States. It's very rare. Every blue moon, there's some people that say it may catch on the shelf. I think New York has 1 or 2 stores. I'm sure they will be privately owned stores. Another close look at the bottle. And this has the pure white top. And when you open it, it's the inside of it. So it has like a little, that part on the inside of the bottle. So, the chance of you finding this on a shelf in any store in the United States is probably like probably less than 5%. And if you do see it on the shelf in the United States, it's going to be inflated because of obviously supply and demand, something that's very rare and hard to find. The demand's going to be higher, so that people was going to just, stick it to you and jack up the prices. Same way they do in the bourbon. You know what I'm saying? I love bourbon, but at the same time, I hate what they're doing to the industry because on the secondhand market, it's just, they've ruined it. They're taking the fun of the bourbon hunting and inflating prices, Case in point, all the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, all those is ridiculously on second market, $500 and up easy, where normally they only go for $100. So it's just, it's ridiculous sometimes how they jack up the price and inflate it. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox before I really get on it, and I'm gonna get back to this. So that being said, you're not gonna really find it. So you're gonna say, well, how the hell did I get it? Well, they only really sell this really in 2 spots that I read. That's at the Hennessy house out in France, and primarily where everybody would get it from is the Caribbean. So if you're in Barbados or in the Bahamas on a cruise, they sell this in the Bahamas primarily, in the Caribbean area. And from what I read, you can find this on a ballpark anywhere at $50 to $60. So how I came into contact with this particular bottle is a guy that I work with. He went to the Bahamas and he came back. He had bought like damn near a case of it. And he was selling out the trunk, and he sold it to me for about $100 and I want to say $20. So I bought one I never had it before. And as I said before, it's something you're not gonna be able to find. And I'm not this person who really goes to the Caribbean. I don't plan on going anytime soon. So I said bump it. I just buy it 1 bottle. So I bought it for $120. So I'm sure he made a profit for me. He doubled his money, but I only got 1 bottle. I'm like, cool. Let me just try it out, see what it is. So that's what I paid for. A guy at my work, he just pulled me to the side and said, hey, I'm selling if you want it, here you go. So I got the Henny Pure White. Like I said, this one right here, and also what I read is it's pretty much, people say, well, why they call it white? It's not white. I mean, no, it's not. Just like Hennessy black is not black. But if that makes sense. But pure white, I mean, yes, it's distilled from white grapes, as in pretty much all cognac, or if not all, most cognac. And it's pretty much double distilled white grapes wine, and it's aged in oak barrels. But this is the young cognac, so it's not very old as well, and it's very soft, very floral type of essence to it. Compared to it's more contemporary brother that you see on any shelf, like the normal VSOP, the Privilege, or XO. Those are darker and heavier, more meatier. So that being said, let's jump right here on this nose. It does have a very nice, like a feminine floral smell to it. Like, It smells like roses and grapes. Like, just imagine you was in a vineyard, some fresh harvested grapes. That's what it smells like. Very grapey, floral, sweet, soft, something like a woman would spray on them. Obviously a stronger fragrance, but it smells something like in that instance. You can get the idea of a floral, soft scent, grapey. That's what this is. It's very nice, you know. Smells very nice, floral, fruity. Very pleasant. I actually like the nose on this, believe it or not. I like strong drinks, but I do like soft sweetness and subtles in it within the nose and in the palate. So, on the nose, very soft. Like I said, straight grapes. Smell like juice, like a little bit of like a hint of apple juice, grapes, wine, and rose, like a little small hint of rose. Yeah, altogether, it just reminds me of a very feminine, floral, winey kind of vibe. That's the aura I'm picking up off this nose. So that being said, let's jump right on this palate. Very similar to what I smell is what I taste. Very light. It's a very light dram. But as always, I like the first sip to coat the palate. Let my taste buds sensitize to the spirit. Then the second one, I'm gonna let it sink in a little bit more. We'll dive more into the notes. This is very simple. This is soft, sweet, light cognac. So this has some sweetness to it. It really does have like a very, like a small, it's not super sweet, but I should say sweet but dry. So it has like a drying finish to me, but it has some sweetness. So on the mid palate is where I get more of the sweetness. Very grapey, almost like a juice. It has like a nice, like a nice melting pot of, like I said, like just imagine a apple juice, like for your kids' Mott's, and just imagine like the little Mott's apple juice. If you had that when you were a kid, you swirl it around, and on the mid palate when you swirl it around, that's kind of when I pick it up. But it's not obviously as sweet as a Mott's, but it has, just imagine like a less sweet Mott's, like a sugar, not sugar free, but a low sugar Mott's on the mid palate. That's what I'm picking up. That like an apple juice. That grapey taste, a little bit of honey, and then you take it down. That's where I get it's more drying on the finish. So that's primarily like a light grape. It's very light, so it doesn't. To me, the finish is not super long. It's only 40%, but I swear it sips so light. There's no burn on it. There's no bite, so it sips very easy, very light, and it's like it doesn't have a punch. Like normally, like if you watch my channel, I like, like in particular, I like my bourbons to be 50% or higher. I like a higher ABV. The reason why I like it, because it lasts long. So just give you an example. When you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth, when you store around that mouthwash, how strong it is, how it burns your tongue almost. When you spit it out and you brush your teeth, how that mouthwash, that linger effect, it lingers in your mouth for at least good 5-10 minutes. Because it has a very strong alcohol consistency to it. So that's the same way with my spirits. I like a higher alcohol content. Once you get past the heat, there's going to be a little heat to it, but you can kind of numb yourself to that after a while. But the reason why I like higher ABV is because it lasts longer on the palate. Same way with your mouthwash, how it lingers. So if you spend $100 or however you spend much, on the spirit, however much you spend on them, you want it to linger in your mouth. If you like what you're tasting, you want it to linger. You want it to last longer. So that's why I like higher ABVs, because it tends to linger longer. So this is, it's not high at all. So I figure when alcohol has I call a nice punch, when you feel a little heat to it, There's no heat to it just at all. It's very light, very floral, sweet. So, you know, this is more like, I like a punch, but this is more like a little baby slap. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little baby slap. If you're a person like myself who are used and like and prefer higher proof spirits, in particular whiskey, like like I say, I'm used to drinking straight higher proof whiskeys, like, you know, 50, 60%. So coming from that to something that is 40%, but it sips like it's 30%, which is a good thing for some people. You know, you will sit back and sip something. This is like a perfect summer drink on a hot day. You know, you barbecue when you sit down. Let's suppose you don't want to get too tipsy. You just want just a little sip of something. You want something real light. You know, you're not trying to get too messed up. This can work good. You put some on the rocks, or if you want, I don't do that personally, but I'm referring to someone who is not an experienced drinker. So someone who is not an experienced drinker who likes to drink but not want to get too messed up, this is a perfect dram for them. You know, you sit, like, for example, if you got a non-drinker or some females coming over, this, if they're entry level, like they're just someone who just really does not drink, you can give them something like this, put a little ice cube in it, pour a little bit, just a splash of apple juice, and let them live their best freaking life. They will be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like this is perfect for them. For me, I like heavier, stronger spirits. Like, for example, his bigger brother, like this right here. If you notice, I'll actually review this bottle, but if you can't see because of the flash, I'm gonna let you know. This is 43% Hennessy right here, Master Blenders, number 3, and this is 43%. This is, you see the color, right? So this is a heavier, meatier, thicker spirit, and it has more layers, it has more complexity to it. This is not necessarily complex, it's more simplistic. It has a nice sweetness to it. I will say that. It's very easygoing. And I'm a comparison king tonight. So just imagine if you're a beer guy, right? And let's suppose you're someone who drinks like porters or stouts or IPAs, heavier IPAs. You know, some heavy IPAs that are going to go for 10% alcohol, or if you're just some good stout aged whiskeys that go for 12% alcohol. So if you're a guy, for example, who drinks those heavier like IPA or stouts that are like 8% or higher, and then suppose you go to someone's party, and then they have a cooler of beer like Coors Light, Miller's Light, and Bud Light, well, or even Corona. You know, if you drink those type of beers and you're used to drinking, 8%, 10%, 12% stouts and higher APAs, it's like drinking water. I mean, even though I like Corona, don't get me wrong, I like Corona and all, but, like, I'm not gonna feel it. It'll take a whole 6-pack for me to feel it. Like, Corona's like drinking water. I enjoy the taste and all, but it's just like, even in particular, like Bud Light and Miller Light, that's even worse than that. I mean, it's just like drinking piss water. It's just there's no, I don't really pick up flavor, nor do I pick up any alcohol consistency to it. So for me, if you don't got no flavor and you ain't got no kick, then what I'm drinking you for? I mean, unless it's free, but anyway, this is a very, very good dram, man. That's all I can really say about it. I like it. It's not bad. I definitely think that it's simplistic, but at the same time, it's sweet and it's simple. And then sometimes in a good environment, that can be good. So for me, it's pretty doable. You're not gonna find an American market. So if you did see an American market, this versus the bottom shelf Henny VSOP, they're very close. I mean, you can go either way. If you like something more heavier, more meatier, I would say go with the traditional Hennessy VS. If you like something a little bit more sweeter, I go with this by far. So just a matter of preference. You like sweeter or you like meatier? I like both. So I tend to go at, if it's a VS, which is young, and I probably would drink, it's 40%, I would drink it straight. I probably would slightly go with this, but that's just a personal preference. That's subjective. There's no right or wrong on that one. So I would say probably this. But that being said, I give this on a cognac scale for VS only. I would have clarified that the scale that I may judge this is not on the same scale as Scotch. So I'm judging this against its temporaries. The temporaries are other VS cognacs like the Hennessy's, the Cavassiers, the Martels, the Remy Martins. Those are contemporaries. So when I judge that scale, I'm thinking of all of the cognacs on the VS scale, even though it's not a VS, but it's kind of unknowingly labeled in that ballpark as a VS. So I'm judging it only among all the other young cognacs on that scale I'm giving it. So So, for example, an 8 cognac is an 8 cognac. That's only a versus cognacs. That's not a versus all, other spirits like, tequila, whiskey. That's just FYI. So for a cognac scale, for young cognac, I mean, I guess it's contemporaries. I give this a good 7.5. I think this is a good 7.5, and now leaning almost towards an 8 because I like the sweetness of it. So it's 7.5, 8. The reason why I would say a 7.5 on a taste, what was it? 7.5. If I take it down a half a notch, if I factor in the availability and price, because actually the availability is 0. So that's why I take it down a half a notch on that. On taste, I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10 for a young cognac. Young cognac scale, 8 out of 10. 7.5 overall because you can't find it. So. But overall, it's a good dram. If you're on a vacation somewhere and you have the opportunity to get this bottle, I think it's a pretty good bottle. I mean, why not get one, maybe two? You can get it for about $50-$60 in the Caribbean or anywhere in those islands. So, if that's something you're interested in, just get one bottle, maybe two, or even try at a bar. See if you like first. If you like at a bar, then go from there. But, like I said, for me, taste profile, I give it an 8, all around 7.5 because of the lack of availability. But, Henny Pure White, Drams on deck. Thank all of y'all, man. I thank everybody who take the time to view my videos. For all my subscribers and even my non-subscribers, thank all of y'all. Thank y'all for your time, man. I really appreciate y'all. Let me know what's going on in the comment box. If you'd like to see some more certain drams that you have not seen yet, let me know. I will respond. I promise I will. Thank you for your time. Drams on deck. Yes, sir.